object of much mocking and slander. Right? This is what has happened to us, the Israelites. And it says, making you the property of many nations. You see, slave, right, goes into the word property. Okay? On the earth, there's always slaves, property, and slave owners, all right? Slave masters, rulers, and subjects, okay? Always. So it says, again, therefore, son of man, give the mountains of Israel this message from the sovereign Lord. Your enemies have attacked you from all directions, making you property of many nations. You see? But many nations are going to ultimately be the property of the Israelites. You see, when we were the property, and when we are now still the property of many nations, these many nations, they rule over us with unrighteousness, injustice, right? Their heathenistic ways. You see? And because of those heathenistic ways, unrighteousness, injustice, they go down ultimately. And it's no different today. They're going to go down, all right? Especially, namely, the ones that's ruling right now, all right, over all nations, which is Esau, Edom, all right? The biblical Edomites, okay? So it says, making you the property of many nations and the object of much mocking and slander. Verse 4, therefore, O mountains of Israel, hear the word of the sovereign Lord. He speaks to the hills and mountains, ravines and valleys, and to the ruined wastes and long deserted cities that have been destroyed and mocked by the surrounding nations. This is what the sovereign Lord says. My jealous anger burns against these nations, especially Edom. Woo! You hear that, man? This is what the sovereign Lord says. My jealous anger burns against these nations, right? These heathen Gentile nations that's been ruling with unrighteousness and injustice. But especially the number one enemy with a bullet, Esau, Edom, who's been just totally contrary, right, to the righteousness of the Most High God. Straight up and down wickedness, all right? Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man with the heads of them, all right, being the JOOSs, the small hats, all right, which are the international bankers that's ruling the earth, okay, in straight up wickedness, right? It says the jealous anger of the Lord burns against these nations, especially Edom, because they have shown utter contempt for me by gleefully taking my land for themselves as plunder. You see, that's what they did. All right. That's who over in our land right now. All right. Because after we was in there, then you had those Arabs that got up in there. And now here it is. They fighting for a land that ain't neither one of theirs. You see, gleefully taking my land for themselves as plunder. Verse 6, therefore prophesy to the hills and mountains and ravines and valleys of Israel. This is what the sovereign Lord says. I am furious that you have suffered shame before the surrounding nations. Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says. I have taken a solemn oath that those nations will soon have their own shame to endure. You see, like the Apostle Taha say, now I'm getting mad. And the Apostle Gabar always, now I'm getting mad. You see? Therefore, verse 7 again, therefore, this is the Bible I'm reading. The word of God in truth, rightly dividing the word, all right, all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. All right, and this is why the prophets, the true men of the Lord, were most hated. You see, because we have to come cut it straight to you, man. No chaser. All right, sparing no feelings. Ezekiel 36:7 in the NLT. Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says. I have taken a solemn oath that those nations will soon have their own shame to endure. But the mountains of Israel will produce heavy crops of fruit for my people, for they will be coming home again soon. See, I care about you, and I will pay attention to you. Your ground will be plowed with your crops planted. I will greatly increase the population of Israel, and the ruined cities will be rebuilt and filled with people. I will increase not only the people, but also your animals. O mountains of Israel, I will bring people to live. I will bring people to live on you once again. I will make you even more prosperous than you were before. Then you will know that I am Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. I will cause my people, all right, to walk. I will cause my people to walk on you once again, and you will be their territory. You will never again rob them of their children. You see, matter of fact, let me get this real quick in the KJV. Ezekiel 36. Ezekiel 36 and 12. All right, Ezekiel 36 and 12. All right, now I'm going back to the KJV, King James Version. It says, yea, I will cause men to walk upon you, even my people of Israel, and they shall possess thee, and thou shalt be their inheritance, and thou shalt no more henceforth bereave them of men. You see? So we have an inheritance coming, y'all. All right? And part of our inheritance, all right, is property, all right? Slaves, these heathens, okay? But the thing is we're going to rule over them, all right, with righteousness. Let me jump down to verse 24, Ezekiel 36 and 24. It says, for I will take you from among the heathen. You see, right now, we, the Israelites, were scattered, all right, all over the world amongst these heathen nations in subjection to them, where they lord over us, devour us. They are the slave masters, all right? They're the rulers, okay? But not for long, all right? For I will take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all countries and will bring you into your own land. Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and ye shall be cleaned. From all your filthiness and from all your idols will I cleanse you. And a new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you. And I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you a heart of flesh. You see, he's going to take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you a heart of flesh. So we're no longer going to disobey. All right, we're never going to transgress. All right, the righteous way that the Most High gave to us. Never again. We're never going to be stiff-necked, hard-hearted, all right, and just, be stubborn and be about our own way anymore, all right? Be about a carnal way anymore, all right? He's going to cause us, all right, program us to be about his righteousness, where we perform his righteousness perfectly, okay? Verse 27, and I will put my spirit within you. You see? Download us, program us, if you will. I will put my spirit within you, talking about the Israelites. And cause you to walk in my statutes, and ye shall keep my judgments and do them. You see, perform them. And so when the heathen nations are in subjection to us, we're going to rule over them, right, with the ways of righteousness. You see, because it's going to be put in us to do so. All right. And then that's when that kicks in, that Sirach or Ecclesiasticus chapter 10 and 1. A wise judge will instruct his people, all right, with the instructions of the Creator. A wise judge will instruct his people. So a wise slave master will instruct his slaves, all right, with righteousness. And the government of a prudent man is well ordered. All right. And let's go to that Wisdom of Solomon that I love to hit with that. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 6 verse 24. But in the multitude of the wise is the welfare of the world. You see, in the multitude of the wise, all right, slave masters is the welfare of the world and all of the slaves. All right, it's the welfare. Okay, I always like to get that definition. All right, the welfare of the world. You see, that's not going on right now. Let's get welfare. All right, it says the good fortune, the good health, the good happiness, the good prosperity. You see, so in the multitude of the wise, all right, the wise slave masters is the welfare of the world and all the slaves, right? The good fortune of the slaves, the good health of the slaves, the good happiness of the slaves, the good prosperity of the slaves. You see? So those that we rule over, after they go through their, punishment, right? Us having to pay them back what they did to us, right? Because we read that in Jeremiah, all right, 30 and 16, okay? But after that, all right, and we get rid of the wicked nation of people, Esau, Edom, eradicate them, right? Then the heathen nations, they get to go to their allotted lands that we give them, all right? And we're going to teach them and rule over them and judge them with our ways. And when we do that, ultimately, they're going to see that, wait a minute, we got some good fortune going on here. We got some good health going on here. We got some good happiness going on here. We got some good prosperity going on here. And it's all because of our slave masters, those who's ruling over us, those who's controlling us. Here y'all go. Yeah, man, this is the first part of our increase, man. Here you go, man, because we booming over here. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, and because of y'all, all right, now no one's going to be booming like the Israelites, all right? But the heathen nations, if they follow in our ways that we tell that we're teaching them and ruling over them with, they're going to have good fortune, right? Good health, good wealth, good happiness, good prosperity. Right? Now, of course, the rulers are going to have the best fortune, the best health, the best happiness, the best prosperity. All right? Because they're the rulers. All right? They're aristocrats. All right? The avant-garde. All right? So, of course, we're going to enjoy the earth better. you see? But even the slaves, they ain't going to complain. They ain't going to have nothing, please. They going to be strizzled. You see? So it says the good fortune, right, of the world, even the slaves, the good health of the world, right? The good happiness of the world, the good prosperity of the world. You see what I'm saying? This is what we're talking about, right? This is what the word is talking about. All right, we're ultimately going to get to that. Right? And that should be your desire, begging the Lord to hasten that day. Till we get to that, to where the slaves, and the slave masters and the slaves are all happy. That's when that the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. Right? When the righteous slave masters are in authority, right, the slaves rejoice. They're going to rejoice ultimately. You see? And this is what's given to us, the Israelites. All right? 2nd Esdras 7 and 9. If this city, all right, rulership of the eternal kingdom, all right, rulership of the earth, right, were given unto a man for an inheritance, and we just read that Psalms 2, all right, how he said, ask of me, and I will give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, in the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. All right. So it says, if this city, the kingdom of heaven, and rulership thereof, rulership of the earth, were now given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? And I said, it is so, Lord. Then said he unto me, even so is Israel's portion. All right, it's the Israelites' portion that we have an eternal inheritance waiting on us. Okay, but before we can get to the inheritance, we had to go through the dangerous place to fall that was set before our inheritance. Right? And the danger set before it, the dangerous place to fall, is this present temporal evil world where we, the Israelites, have to experience being slaves, okay? Being ruled over, right? We had to experience that. And that's why the Lord in Romans 13:1, it says, every soul be subject, right, to the higher powers, even when those higher powers are unrighteous, right? Even when those higher powers are wicked, right? We have to suffer that. Just like I always say, as wickedness gets its time, I say, is one of the beloved brothers. All right. As wickedness gets its time, righteousness gets its eternity. You see, but wickedness does get its time. And when wickedness get its time, that's when we make our body a living sacrifice. When wickedness get its time, that's when we weeping. When wickedness get its time, that's when we're mourning. All right. When wickedness get its time, that's when we slaves. But when righteousness gets its eternity, that's when we the slave masters. That's when we the rulers. Okay. And we're going to rule over all nations of people with righteousness, man. And it's going to be beautiful, man. Beautiful for all. Okay. So, on the earth, there's always slaves and slave masters, rulers and subjects. Always. All right. Now, even until the eternal righteous kingdom to come, that's going to be right here on the earth, ruled, all right, by the special chosen children, the Israelites, forever. Okay. So, Lord willing, this was edifying. With that, I'm going to give all praises, all honor, all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachachodash, Shalom, and Abba Bal, Kwam Yashala.